Everybody, welcome back to Power Play here on Wicked Good Sports. We're joined, as always, by Chris Uminski. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Brian. How are you?
Doing quite well. So last time we spoke, we said, hey, the Canadiens, they got a chance. Not a good chance, but they have a chance. They're still alive. And then that ended. I think that night, the night we recorded it, if not like the day after when the video actually went up. So, Chris, tell me about the Tampa Bay Lightning capturing their second straight championship.
Well, I'm not surprised it happened. I predicted it in 5 games, and I was right.
Now,
Um, Game 5, Tampa Bay, they skated absolute circles around Montreal.
mhm,
They sort of experienced the same thing that Montreal experienced in Game 4, where they were
right,
in their home arena, the cup was in the building, the fan energy was electric. There were 50,000 people outside of Emily Arena watching it on like a big screen. The
mhm.
whole big thing. And they brought the cup home for a second straight year. Not totally unheard of. The Chicago Blackhawks did it not long ago, but it's still quite an achievement.
Yeah, and for I guess the city of Tampa Bay, like Jesus Christ, this last few years has just been probably feels like a dream. Like if I were a Tampa Bay fan, I'd be like, clearly I've died, and this is just like heaven. Like what can we say? Like are the Lightning just gonna keep winning? What are your thoughts going forward for them?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens because probably the biggest controversy of this series has been the Tampa Bay Lightning were playing way over the salary cap.
Hmm.
And they were able to do that because they exploited some loopholes in the rules that the NHL has set out for their salary cap.
Right.
Their star player was on IR all season, and then they bring him on for the playoffs, and they just blow everybody out of the water. So fans, I guess, especially in Montreal, are not super psyched about that. I don't care. I'm a Patriots fan as well. If you can
Hmm.
find a loophole in the rules,
Hmm.
then, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you can exploit it, you got to do it, right? I mean,
Right? Yeah.
you gotta try to win at all costs. This is the pros. This is the top level. It's a business too. I mean, teams that win more championships make more money. It's just how it is. So, I feel what you're saying. I think obviously frustrating for Canadian fans, of course, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. They could have also exploited the rule, but they didn't.
And, but of course, all that being said, now going into next season, Tampa Bay is way over the cap.
Hmm.
So they're going to have to make some moves, probably deal some big stars, some expensive players in order to come down to meet that salary cap obligation. Because if they try to put a player on IR again for all season then bring him back, somebody might be like, "We should probably change this rule."
Hmm.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
speculation they might do that anyway.
I'm sure they will. I mean, once like stuff like this gets exploited, like you can get away with it while it's happening, but as soon as the people can reassess the
Yeah.
rules, it gets closed. But hey, good on them for finding this and exploiting it. I guess moving forward for the Canadians, what does this do for them? Like, it's heartbreaking, of course. I know in the NFL, there's a thing called the Super Bowl hangover, where teams that lose the Super Bowl often perform very poorly the next season. Is it similar in the NHL?
Sometimes I wouldn't say it's the rule. Obviously,
Hmm.
Tampa just won 2 cups in a row,
Right.
but um, I don't know. Like sometimes the second place team might come out and not look great, but lately it's been pretty consistent. Like the teams that come in second will go into the next season like they know all of the things that they've done right, so they can
Hmm.
keep doing those things. But then there's still that room to try to improve so that they can get over that threshold and and take home a championship.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see how Montreal moves forward. They did go ahead and hire Dominique Ducharme to be their permanent head coach rather than just the acting head coach, which he was.
Hmm.
They did go ahead and do that. Probably going to look to improve a little bit on defense, but as far as their core lineup is concerned, I don't see very much changing. They seem to have found a solid group of guys who can play together.
Hmm.
And I wouldn't expect very much to change in Montreal.
Hey, I think that's fair, and I think obviously, I mean, you gotta hire the coach full time at this point. Like, gets them to the Stanley Cup Final. It's only right. But there's been a little bit of controversy. I don't know if controversy is the right word, but a little bit of an incident in the NHL. This is the rule, right? Every player gets like a day to have the cup.
Yes.
To celebrate. There's a little mishap. Chris, you want to explain what happened here?
Tampa being Tampa, they had, instead of having a street parade like we do in Boston, they do their boat parade. Mm-hmm. And I would say right now that Tampa, Florida might be the most dangerous city in the world for an iconic professional sports trophy.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there was the incident with Tom Brady throwing the Lombardi trophy.
Yeah, almost lost it to the ocean.
But now there is somebody. I heard it was Steven Stamkos. Okay. Somebody put a pretty sizable dent in the top of the Stanley Cup, like the original part that has been there since they started awarding it in the 1920s.
The actual cup part.
Yeah. Like somebody put a pretty sizable dent in it. They're partying a little too hard. If you watch Nikita Kucherov's press conference that he did right after the game, I mean, he was, I think, schmammered is probably the best way to say it. He did a press conference shirtless, going off on Montreal fans. Man, they're gonna have a villain next year. It's great, but the irony of all this is that the cup was sent out to get repaired today in the city of Montreal.
So they got their cup. This was the roundabout way for them to get the cup in Montreal. I don't know. I obviously, like, not very serious. It can be repaired. It's just a funny thing, like, to have happen. And I feel like the cup has seen quite a lot of debaucherous behavior in its time. So, you know, I'm sure it'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think there have been babies in the cup. They've drank beer out of it, champagne, all sorts of shenanigans.
I've definitely seen it at the bottom of a pool at one point. So, like, it's gotten around. Like, I do actually really like that as that they let everybody have a day with it, and I like it even more that there's just someone whose job is to travel with it.
I actually almost got the chance to meet that guy.
That's cool.
My uncle was friends with him.
That's awesome. The stories I'm sure that guy could tell from everything he's witnessed over the years. I'm gonna guess they have him on a pretty strict NDA at this point.
Like, if you go to the Hockey Hall of Fame and go to like the Stanley Cup room where it's just all about the trophy, you know, it's the most iconic trophy in sports, oldest one in North America, all that whole exhibit. The cup that you take a picture with is a replica, but the closet that they keep the real one in, it's like a steel bank vault door. All that is right next to it. You get so like here's like the fake one, take a picture, and then the real one is in Fort Knox.
I mean, it's gotta be, right? I mean, that's just so funny. And I wanted to, like, when you brought it up, I was like, oh yeah, we definitely need to talk about this. Like, this is a silly, fun thing and a good way to kind of end the first season. And then we're gonna immediately start talking about the next season of our coverage. But, like, yeah, just fun. Congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning, back-to-back champs. I think, oh my God, I'm going to forget his name.
Their second championship in less than a year.
Yeah, ridiculous. But, they say that repeating is one of the most difficult things to do in sports. So congratulations to them. And
Tom Brady's in town. The Tom Brady
yeah,
effect is real.
yeah, we can talk about that a little bit. So I don't know if anyone listening, well, I'm sure you've seen it, but like there's a chart that someone made of like where Tom Brady has lived throughout his life and how it's lined up with championships for like the various teams.
Everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. So like most relevant to us, the Red Wings when they were at their best, Tom Brady was in college at Michigan. And then, he was here. We only got one cup.
The 49ers were doing really well.
Yeah, like we only got one Stanley Cup while he was here. I feel like we could have gotten some more. Come on, Tom.
The Celtics did pretty good though. They made up.
They did good. They did. Yeah, and obviously the Patriots did really great. So I guess that really makes up for it. But yeah, pretty wild. Like you can go find it. Just Google like Tom Brady championship, whatever. Live
Tom
where
Brady
he lives
effect.
thing. Yeah, the Tom Brady effect. You'll find it. So very fun. Good for Tampa Bay for landing him. Clearly was a smart move, not just for the Buccaneers, but for the whole region.
So.
Oh, man. All right, Chris, where can they find you online?
So I am always tweeting about hockey on Twitter, Chris_Uminski. I'm on Facebook also for hockey and casual stuff too. If you like a good meme.
So go find him there. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheFakeMeMar. That's BMARR. The channel is on Twitter at WickedGoodSport and at WGEverything. The main channel is youtube.com/WickedEverything. This channel is, of course, Wicked Good Sports. And we also have a podcasting channel for general things. We have Big Brother. We have a Buffy the Vampire Slayer podcast. Pretty much like any kind of media you could want. It's over there. Go check us out on Better Radio. And, yeah, follow us on Instagram at Wicked Good Everything and TikTok, Wicked Good Everything. I think that's it. I don't know. There's a lot of things. You'll find us. We're out there. All right. Thanks so much, Chris. I'll talk to you in the next one.
Take it easy.